Hello. Phone connected.
Hi y'all. I am the Jed. Today we're going to do a comparison of the new Sena 50s Bluetooth communicator with the Sena 30k that it replaced. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. We'll compare the units one against the other. We'll talk a little bit about what Sena says the differences are. And then what I'm going to do is set up a new moto-vlogging helmet with the new communicator in it. Just from the start though, if you're in the market for a Bluetooth communicator, you're looking at Sena and you're looking at Cardo. Cardo is PackTalk, Sena is Mesh, and you make a decision one way or the other, in part depending upon your assessment of which is better, and in part depending upon what your friends ride with. That second point is probably the most important. If your friends all ride with Cardo, it doesn't really matter if you like Sena better. You probably want to get a Cardo. Conversely, if your friends all ride Sena, I'd say stick with Sena. That's issue number one. Issue number two is if you've decided you want a Sena and you're deciding between the 30k or the 50R or 50s, it's a no-brainer. From Sena, the 30k is $299. The 50R or the 50s, I think at present, is $339. It's worth it to get the 50R or the 50s just for the upgrades alone. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's do a quick unboxing of the new Sena 50s. We'll have a look at it here. By the way, and for the record, I'm clearly not sponsored by Sena. I bought this myself, so my opinions are mine. Nobody else has paid for them. So here's the box. Let's have a look and see what is inside. Maybe. Take two. So here's the box from Sena. A little technical difficulty getting it open. Let's see if we can get the second box open without too much trouble. Wow. Packed tightly. All right, there we go, and oh, there's the new unit. Nice, very nice. And you probably get a variety of mics. Here's a boom. Another boom. Looks like a charging cable. This looks like the charging cable with the built-in Wi-Fi adapter that we'll talk about in a second. Here are, I think, the new speakers, which we'll also talk about in a second, and some extension cables. Very similar to what you get from Sena with the 30k, maybe identical except for the upgraded speakers and the Wi-Fi adapter. So that's the box. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the two units, but let's do a quick cleanup first. Okay, so here are the two units. New Sena 50s, old Sena 30k. Virtually, in fact, I think the same dimensions. They are same thickness, same length. Looks to be identical housing, frankly. Yeah, just very similar in form. Let's talk about the differences between the two, at least as Sena explains it. So first is Talktime. On the 30K, on Bluetooth intercom, you get 13 hours. Mesh intercom, you get 8 hours. It's an hour more for both of those with the 50s. Next difference is the speaker itself. Sena describes the speaker that's available with the 50R or the 50S as HD speakers. They are they are billed as upgraded and better. In terms of dimensions, it looks like the speaker driver unit is 40 millimeters in both cases, but the new HD speakers are slightly thicker at 7.2 millimeters versus 6.5 millimeters. So we'll have to see whether the sound is qualitatively better. Next difference from Sena is charging time. It's an hour and a half to fully charge the 30K. It's 1 hour to fully charge the 50R or the 50S. By the way, I should interrupt here. I keep mentioning 50R and 50S. What I have is the 50S. The 50R is a totally different unit with essentially the same capabilities, but instead of the familiar jog dial, it uses 3 buttons, and it's a much smaller and thinner profile than the 50S unit. It also does not clamp onto your helmet. It sticks onto your helmet. I opted to get the 50S primarily because I'm used to the 30K. I understand how the jog dial works, and I like it. Next difference is Bluetooth. Maybe a big one, maybe not. The Sena 30K is Bluetooth 4.1. The 50R, 50S is Bluetooth 5.0 enabled. Lastly, just a couple of cleanup items. The new 50R and 50S are shipped with a Wi-Fi adapter that provides auto updates for the firmware for the unit. Apparently you just get it onto your network once, and then every time you charge the unit you get automatic firmware updates, which is a nice feature. And lastly, the 50R and 50S have multiple language capabilities for voice commands. So if you speak Russian, or I think there's a couple other new languages that are available in the new 50R and 50S that weren't available in the 30K. So those are the differences. Next, I am going to build a new vlogging helmet. I bought a new Shui. I bought a new Shui GT Air that I'm going to use for a vlogging helmet. It's not the GT Air 2 because I have my own Sena unit. The GT Air 2 has space for a sort of a prefab Sena unit to fit into the helmet itself. I was able to find a closeout on the old GT Air from actually motorcycle helmets closeout, motorcyclecloseouts.com, I think it is. I'll put a link in the description. Lastly, if you're in the market for one of these, my understanding is they're slow getting out because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I bought mine from Richard Battles at RKA. He's a great guy. He's up in Northern California. He got it to me, I think it took 2 days from the day he shipped it to get it to me. The price was competitive with what was on Amazon. He's a small business. He was impacted by the pandemic. His main gig is making motorcycle luggage by hand in his shop. They immediately turned their lines into mask making, and they've been making masks for hospitals and big corporations to use, which I think was a great move on his part to help support the community. He's been a good friend to me. No sponsorship in this whatsoever. I pay the price everybody else pays from him. but I like to support him, and I would encourage you to as well. Okay, y'all, here is the helmet in its final and finished form, at least for now. So we got the Sena 50s installed. We've got the GoPro Hero 8 installed with kind of a mounting bracket that I rigged together. This is all on a Shoei GT Air helmet. I've test ridden it today. I'll try to post some footage. Really enjoyed it. It's quiet and it's comfortable. That dead mouse sticking out there is a mic that I run to the GoPro, and then I've got a second mic going to the GoPro that I can't show you, but it's miking one of the helmet speakers from the Sena so that you can hear it in footage that I capture on the GoPro. So there's a splitter in there, and those both run into one jack that goes into the GoPro. And then I've got a third mic that's just Velcroed. Let's see if we can see it this way, maybe. No, unfortunately the chin guard is going to block us from seeing it, but it's just Velcroed to the front of the helmet, and that's miking the Sena unit. So 3 mics in all in there, and it's a lot of cabling that you've got to run under your cheek pads and under the helmet liner. Just I would say, if you've never done it before, just be brave. All those pads and liners snap into place. It's really simple, and if for some reason you can't figure it out once you've got it out, just go up to a cycle gear and I'm sure they'll show you how to do it. It's really not that bad at all. It's way more cabling than you think you can hide under all that, but I was able to do it, and I don't feel any of it on my head. Okay, y'all, I've got the Sena completely installed in the helmet. I'm filming with my GoPro. I'm mic'd into the GoPro, and I've got the Sena unit mic'd from the speaker into the GoPro as well. So you should be able to hear what I hear from Sena. I've got my son off camera, so I'm going to turn on.
Hello. Phone connected.
Okay, so you should have just heard Sena turning on and connecting to my phone, which is interestingly in the house right now, which says something about the strength of the Bluetooth signal. I'm gonna now turn mesh on. My son's got a 30k on his helmet off camera, and we'll see if mesh auto connects with him.
Mesh intercom on. Open mesh. Channel 1.
Literally, that's one push of a button. Shane, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so Shane's got his mesh intercom on as well, and it auto-connected. It's crystal clear audio. Now, granted, we are very close to one another. Shane, say something, lyrics of a song, something so we can hear you.
Let's think. What should I say? What do you think I should say?
That's enough right there, actually. It's crystal clear. I will say these speakers, these HD speakers, do seem louder and do seem a degree clearer than the speakers from the 30k unit. I'm not on a bike. I have not tested this on the bike yet, so that will be the ultimate test. But so far, so good. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe.
Goodbye.